Hello and welcome everyone to Blood on the Bayou, our second circuit series hosted at the Adventure Begins here in Houston, Texas. We are in round 5 and we have two 5-0 players here in Alex on Aurora and Evan on Azuri. I am joined today by Justin. How are you doing, Justin?
I'm doing good. Always looking forward to seeing Evan and Alexander on stream. Both kind of good friends. Both very I want to say expressive players. Alexander very loves his pet cards, and clearly it's working out for him today. And Evan basically the same with Azuri being a full pet hero. Really getting custom in all of his lists with Azuri.
Evan has been playing Azuri for a long time. He's definitely someone that I play with almost weekly. We play at our weekly armory, and he is an exceptional player and really understands the game. And it shows in his ability to play Azuri so effectively. So I'm excited to see what he's brought here. I'm excited to see what he think. I mean, he obviously is doing well. So I'm excited to see how he can pair into Aurora being the best deck in the format here. And I'm really ready to see what Alex has, what he can do into a disruptive assassin. And if he's going to be able to weather the storm or if he's just going to blow him out of the water. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. What are you expecting here? I think that our Aurora list, it's either, are you expecting combo here?
Just seeing Alexander in our other games so far, or knowing him from armories, he's often really leaning on the combo package in most matchups. That's just how he prefers to do it, and it's clearly working out for him.
Alex is gonna show us his whole list here as he shuffles as he shuffles up.
Pile shuffling face up like a Chad, just an intimidation tactic.
Like, you can see what I have. You look. I know you're gonna get Bonds of Agony. It's fine. I'll just go ahead and show you now. Yeah.
I am always excited to see Azuri gameplay. Azuri is a really weird hero in that she is only as good as you are prepared for the meta. We saw that with Shoma winning the Pro Tour in I believe Amsterdam, where he just came ready for Enigma, ready for Zen, and that's all he played and got paid for it. Azuri has a way to toolkit for anything, any sort of meta, and kind of gets worse the wider it is. But when it's really narrow, you're expecting Enigma, Aurora, and that's basically most of the field. You could be really honed in on just targeting them and get paid off for it.
I really couldn't agree more. Yeah, Azuri is definitely this toolbox hero. Tons of tools, but you have to make sure you bring the right tools for the matchups that are going to be happening. So, Azuri, Evan, like we talked about, a very experienced player, very knowledgeable player. So I have no doubt that he is brought the tools that he feels are going to get him the wins here into Aurora.
Both of these players already, I believe, at 4-0, locked for top 8, playing for their share of $500 for our circuit series for the top 8 prizing, as well as additional points for our circuit, where after our third circuit event on May 19th, the top 8 point earners from our circuit series will get free entry to the Battle Hardened for World Tour Houston at the end of June, I believe June 26th. And the Battle Hardened being worth double the points of our other circuit events. At the end of it, the top 16 players will get their share of a $2,000 prize pool. Yeah, that's on top of the prizing provided by LSS. this has been really fun to help organize and set up for everybody as kind of a gift to the Texas community and anybody else who wants to come out and travel. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the leaderboard looks like at the end of the Battle Harden.
Yeah. To for date corrections there, World Tour Houston Battle Hardened is going to be June 28th. Host at one of our local game stores here. Please look on fabtcg.com or fabtcg.com for any information that you need about that event. It should all be posted there, but we are flipped up and ready to go. And like you called it, Alex on combo here.
Looks like he's going to be starting us off with just an electrostatic discharge into a lightning surge, just showing a quick little 7.
Just saying.
Maybe just trying to peel away a couple cards.
Evan gonna get the death touch. He loves this card. He loves this card for being able to tunic codex, and so he generally plays a 1 of here of the death touch. So getting into graveyard early is definitely ideal for him.
And just somersaulting back that lightning surge to have it in arsenal for next turn. It's just a guaranteed go again on the turn. Something Aurora can surprisingly occasionally struggle with. And I believe the last card remaining last turn was the Arc Lightning, so we'll be able to have that to set it up for the famous combo turn.
Evan here with his Codex sink below. Looks like just a Nick, and I'm not sure what his 4th card is. Going to start off with a Spider's Bite here. Try and make blocking a little more difficult for Alex if he chooses to, pitching the Codex to it. The beautiful Marvel Codex of Frailty coming out.
And one of the interesting parts of the equipment layout for me is actually the Black Tech Whisperers. Something we don't see all that often at this point. It's just attack reaction, give an assassin attack on hit, go again. And it's importantly an on-board reaction for something like Bonds of Agony, as well as recurring the 1 battle worn value on it.
So with 2, well, technically 3 reactions, because he is going to Azuri here, and is going to put in the Shakedown. Shakedown coming out, one of the Azuri specializations that you don't see as often, as Azuri is not as popular, and it's going to say if you've reacted this turn, which if you play Azuri you have, when this hits you get to choose red, yellow, or blue, and they reveal their hand, and you get to banish a card of the chosen color. So pretty strong card, giving you a lot of information about what's going on in their hand, as well as hand disruption.
That's also one of the really fun things we get to see with Azuri, how they use Bonds of Agony. Alexander had immediately blocked with Arc Lightning, not wanting to get all copies of it stripped from his deck from Bonds of Agony, but then he just swaps it out for a Shakedown.
Yeah, it definitely is. Again, these assassin decks are so difficult to block effectively, whether you're not knowing what chain link to block on, or just how much to block, or what is going to happen in the case of Azuri where they can swap in different things. Gonna Flash here with no go again, just 4, no cards in hand. See if Evan's going to respect it here. Generally, the Azuri, Evan likes to talk about how if you have both heroes under 10, that playing 2-card hands, the only hero that he would want to be on would be Azuri. He thinks it is playing small hands, that it's one of the best heroes at doing it.
Yeah, even with like these 2 cards, like a stealth swap into something like Shakedown, it kind of really unfairly leans towards the Azuri player being able to take more away from the opponent than they're able to send back.
Blue Isolate swapping in the weakest link here. So again,
weakest link, a supposedly a good tech card for Aurora, but then you just see no non-blocks in hand for the Aurora.
Still getting the information out of them though. Still sending across the damage.
Yeah, able to completely read out the turn, and especially knowing that Sigil is suffering, almost certainly heading to the arsenal.
Looks like our life totals here are not updated quite yet, but I'm going to send in the 0 for 4 with the Entwined Lightning being fused.
The rest of the hand, just a little bit awkward for Alexander. Not having any sort of lightning starter, probably just ending up pitching the current funnel to an embodiment at the end of the spark spray.
I want to talk about the card that I want to talk about Spark Spray. That seems to be a pretty interesting card that I have not seen in a lot of Aurora lists.
It is definitely one of Alexander's pet cards. He just thinks it's a really interesting effect. And it's one of the things with Aurora is you want all of your blues to be exactly Starfall and Rune Chant or Embodiment. That is what they're destined for. But here it introduces a weird dynamic he wouldn't be able to otherwise take advantage of, where he will have the floating resource after creating an embodiment. Why not just put it towards damage?
It's a very cool piece of tech that I have not seen. It's a very interesting way of approaching the deck building as well. So that's super cool to see that. Definitely Alex has a good grasp on the deck and a good understanding of the play patterns to be able to make an adjustment like this and be as effective as he has been in this game. So
Evan, knowing the rest of the cards in hand for Alexander, able to make that correct call on not blocking the spark spray to give him the extra damage.
Did get our life totals updated here. 31 playing 30. Evan sending in the Enlightened Strike, keeping the entire hand here. And Natty combo. I think
Alexander making sure we get a peek at that.
Showing us there. I got the Flicker Wisp. I got some gold. I got some Arc Lightning. Do your worst. I've got plenty of life to sit on here, Evan. Evan sending the 5 go again on the Enlightened Strike, followed up by the dagger. I got bad news, Evan. He's not going to block. But still trying to get in as much damage as he can.
If it wasn't for something like that Spark Spray effect, I'm sure Evan would have preferred to try to block with the Enlightened Strike, or just taking the moment where it's a somewhat less threatening turn to try to force back tempo like this, like following up a Spider's Bite with a Command and Conquer.
And we see Alex getting caught with a D-React in Arsenal after the Command and Conquer being played. Gonna go ahead and get the value block on the Aether Iron Weave. Almost put it in front of the dagger, but the dagger definitely has piercing. So going to get the value block, saving a couple of life here before he goes into his big Arc Lightning turn.
Command and Conquer following up the Spider's Bite is especially bad for Aurora, because all of your 3 blocks where you'd want to put like the Grasp, the Iron Weave in a 3 block now doesn't even cover it up.
We see here Alex even having the E-Strike in hand. So with the go again off the Arc Lightning, pretty good. Pretty good. Can do the natural, can get the go again mode and draw a card for the Enlightened Strike.
Yeah, not even needing to rely on the Arc Lightning, because he has the embodiment set up. He is able to play the Arc Lightning and Flicker Wisp in the more efficient order, with Flicker Wisp being second. Ooh, but I'm not even sure he uses the embodiment on the Enlightened Strike. We'll have to see, with Ravenous Rabble being the other card in hand. Oh, but he does start on the Flicker Wisp. Oh, it's his only lightning card, so he must start on the Flicker Wisp. Sadly, losing a little bit of value on it.
Still, still destined to be a big turn here. 29, starting at 30, starting this turn at 31. Let's see where Evan ends up after this. Still holding the pin, waiting to see what is coming next. Or he knows what's coming next, knowing that two more is coming across from the arc lightning.
Yeah, just all ready to sign the bill for it.
Going to send the lightning strike. Get the draw card
strike.
and the go again.
Burning up the embodiment, which I hope we see moved away in a moment. Evan finally taking a look at his hand.
Only having AB1, I don't think you can afford AB2 into this matchup anyway, so just saying.
No.
Yep.
The extra equipment like Crown of Providence and Black Tech Whispers really help try to make sure you find the value, because trying to Arcane Barrier out the Flicker Wisp is not the way Azuri is going to be winning this matchup.
Definitely not a winning strategy. He says, you know what? That's fine. I'll take all 7, the 2 Arcane and everything. Here comes the Aether Iron Weave, getting the 2 resources, which will naturally be used in the gold for another go again and a draw card.
Making sure he's properly cleaned up, and see a Flittering Charge and Sigil of Suffering.
Sigil of Suffering, definitely an unfortunate rip there.
Probably going to see it either arsenaled or pitched away for our makeshift Rosetta Thorn.
I think it's definitely, it goes into Starfall for sure, right? Just push as much damage here. So you've already played a lightning card, so you have the go again on Starfall.
Evan definitely seemed to be taking a aggressive approach to this matchup, having a 12-point lead starting off this turn, but we'll see where that lead has disappeared to at the end of it.
Yeah, starting at 31, down to 16 already. Says, you know what? I'll take 4 more. Going down to 12.
We'll see if Alexander wants to hold it on. I guess discussing a life discrepancy real quick. Evan being honorable to make sure he has it right. Now ending on the Flittering Charge. See the sink below, I believe?
I thought I saw a sink below as well, and I'm interested to see if he doesn't use it, what it will be destined for. Flittering just going to be 4 here, no cards left, so the 2 Arcane barrage has come to an end. Decides to take the 4 down to 8. From 31 down to 8 off of a 4-card hand. That is pretty nuts.
Yeah, Aurora really showing why she is so strong with that full combo package. And now we see why Evan was holding on to everything. Pick up the point definitely does, or I'm sorry, yeah, pick up the point definitely has one bigger number on one side than the other side.
And the Saber Bloodshed. No mark though, so just going to be a big dagger coming in.
Yeah, this is just a makeshift Zealous Belting that blocks 3 with the on hit of Spider's Bite. And now followed by Leave No Witnesses, while all of the defensive cards for Alexander are a bit touched down with that Spider's Bite.
Unfortunate there is no arsenal here, just going to be some 0 for 4 going on, and a little bit of an A card taken off the top here on hit. Maybe make some silver. I don't know if the game's gonna go long enough to be able to buy our Black Tech Whisperers back though.
It's that Sigil of Solace, so he'll get his first silver. Yeah, at the rate we're going, I'm not sure he's gonna get that second one.
That's right, and then he tucks the sink below for another day.
Yeah, just planning out this hand. Definitely thought the sink below was better for the arsenal in this case. Yeah, and that Lightning Valley to follow up the Flicker Wisp.
Sink below coming in clutch there, able to, as Alex is like, all right, I got 0 for 4. You say no blocks, and
Just like it was drawn up.
But then the electrostatic discharge, bouncing it back. Wait, that's not right. Electromagnetic somersault. Bouncing it back.
Now just sending the Starfall, pitching away the Flittering Charge, suggesting he has something else he wants to attack with at the end of the chain. Finally giving up the Crown of Providence when it's probably at its best usage. Blocking 2 to deny this Lightning Valley. Deciding if he even wants to, or if he wants to save it for another turn.
Evan may be interested in maybe not wanting to fix the hand here. May like the hand. Seems he does like the hand. Skipping the trigger on the crown, getting out of that turn without any draws. So the Lightning Valley not able to replace itself. Showing that,
like you said, getting to these single digit life totals where Evan feels the most comfortable, because he's going to be able to start forcing over more and more on hits, making Alexander respect it even more. We already see this looking for a scrap coming out when we know he has an Enlightened Strike in hand as well. Looking to just 5 go again, try to force out all the cards he can.
Get some cards out of the Aurora's hand for sure. We have 8 playing 7 here.
It just starts this game of inches where the assassin player starts taking more and more away until the other player is not able to do anything about it.
Alex blocking the equipment, going down to 2, and just a shakedown. Is that a shakedown?
Yeah, that is a shakedown.
That is not
he does have, not currently, but he does have the Flick Knives and the Black Tech Whispers to guarantee a enabling of it.
I assume that shakedown costs 2, right? It does.
Yep. After the looking for a scrap for 1.
Yeah, so none floating from the blue isolate pitch. Alex going to give us a good thought about whether or not he's going to respect the 6 coming in from shakedown.
It is threatening lethal. He has to respect it some amount.
Yeah, he definitely... And here comes his... Oh, Sigil of Solace.
Sigil of Solace going to bring him back up to 8 even while he's about to take this 6 damage.
Down and back down to 2, just like that. And Evan going to call a color and look at his hand. I'm assuming he calls red here.
Seeing the second strike on this information is actually really vital. Being able to know like how much he's able to stop on this turn.
Looks like he has an E strike left.
Yeah, that E strike gonna be heading to the arsenal, but his hand looks very anemic for Alexander.
Especially losing one of these cards, so Evan trying to make the hard call here between the second strike and the burn up shock. Just from the way that Alex has the card stacked, I'm assuming that was red that was called here. So Evan just using the Black Tech Whispers to get the shakedown online, which is huge value. Doesn't have any follow up to it because of the E strike. Is just going to go to Arsenal. Takes the burn up shock, banishing it away.
That just leaves Alexander with actually not too much that he can do. He can start on the Arc Lightning, trying to force through some damage along with the pitching to the sword, but it's really just down to if Evan has all the resources he needs to deal with it.
Pitching to the grasp, and then going to send in the 2 and 1 on the grasp, and then a third ping of Arcane. It almost feels like he just... No, never mind. There's still Go again.
It still strips away one extra card because of the pseudo breakpoint on resources with the extra rune chant.
Exactly.
And even if this second strike, even if we haven't dealt any damage, it's still going to get the Go again from the Arc Lightning.
With Saber Bloodshed, a Bonds of Agony, and a Codex of Frailty in hand. So it does have the blues to take care of it.
Even has the potential for pretty strong Codex of Frailty, but we know that's an E strike in Arsenal, so no matter what he manages to keep in hand, we're probably going to see the E strike for 7 coming out. It really depends if Alexander decides he wants to keep the second strike for a future turn or just send it here.
I've been giving this one a hard think here in round 4, Blood on the Bayou. The second circuit here, hosted by The Adventure Begins. We have Alex on Aurora, 2 playing into 8 with Evan on Azuri. Going to Arcane Barrier Way, the Rune Chant, now facing down the 2 from the Starfall with a Channel Lightning Valley on the board threatening a draw. And then another arcane damage from the Arc Lightning following up behind that. Turning the Saber Bloodshed aside, looks like he may be blocking the 3 on 2. Trying to figure out how much damage is still left to come here. Pitching away the bonds.
Oh no, Evan realizing what he did. Knowing he could have pitched the Codex instead of the Bonds of Agony and have the 3 block for the second strike that he knew about from the shakedown.
Oh, that's really tough. It's a tough break there for Evan.
Even blocking the Codex on the Starfall and holding the Saber Bloodshed. That has to feel really bad.
Yeah, you can see here, not very happy with that.
Having the full information and such a rough position to be in. So he either has to give up.
I would be lying to you if I had told you that I had never done that. I've definitely been in this position where I've had a weakest league hit, seen the hand, and still proceeded to block incorrectly. So,
being round 5, I'm sure these players are exhausted as it is.
Yeah, it is. It can be a little taxing on you.
Now he has to decide if he's allowing the draw for Alexander or giving up the flick knives.
The second strike read that it gets Go again only whenever this attacks. So this is going to be the end of the chain. It just depends.
It does still have Go again from the Arc Lightning. Being the first action he's played since Arc Lightning was played.
Oh, yeah.
Evan taking his time to figure out how he wants to proceed with this. Making sure he gets not miss any other issues like the second strike. Making sure he thinks everything out very carefully. gives up the flick knives.
Having to give up the flake knives there. That is a little rough, but doesn't want to give up the tunic quite yet. Sending the tunic to 3 and passing over. Able to make it out of the arc lightning turn with the channel on the board though. But still a very difficult, a very tough break to have this late in the game.
Yeah, and every point of defensive value is very important to Azuri. Already trying to make it into the late game with some very thin margins. And actually leading on a snatch with no go again. I wonder what kind of read Evan is trying to get out from this.
Definitely feel like it telegraphs the lightning press. Right?
But what else is he going to be doing? He's going to activate the lightning greaves, actually. The lightning press the snatch. And, oh no. Eyes rolling back. Yeah, of course he has it.
I think that with the lightning greaves out and leading on a snatch, it kind of telegraphs that it's either that or the electrostatic discharge. So you're kind of deciding, am I blocking the 4 or am I blocking the 7 here? And you're just kind of throwing the dice and deciding what comes out on the other side that the Aurora has.
Yeah, it's kind of an unwinnable position, no matter how he wants to dice it up. Now the Entwined Lightning not being fused without go again, even with the Lightning Greaves active, he knows is probably not in too much more of a threat the rest of this turn. But it could be a second Lightning Press.
You could somersault this, right? You could somersault this, get the action point back, and then send Entwined Lightning again.
That is correct. Evan having to try to figure out what the winning line is. Respecting the damage on this Entwined Lightning and perhaps a Lightning Press in hand. Probably, definitely like trying to respect it would get him through the turn, but does it get him into a winning position? Is I'm sure what he's having to think about at this time.
Looking like he wants to give the 3 block. Or give a block and then try to keep a card in hand to send the E-Strike. So blocking with the blue isolate. Alex saying, very good. Take the 1. Moving to Arsenal. Evan keeping 1 card in hand. Maybe able to clear out that Arsenal zone now. Sending the E-Strike. 4, 7.
It's rough having to sit on this E-Strike for so long, and now it's just 7 vanilla damage. And the Sigil of Solace too, so taking away less cards than he would have liked. Stream attendant helping out.
Taking 4,
blocking.
Going down to 1. So we'll see now what Evan can draw up and see if he has the defense, be able to mount a little bit of defense here.
Being in these low life positions where Azuri wants to be, but not finding the tools he wants for this situation.
Always having to play around those lightning presses. Going to block the 6 on the 5 here.
I believe I saw the last card in hand was that lightning press, so perhaps he's actually attacking for 7? Hard to tell the dice from here.
Yep, that's it. It was for 7. The press comes in. Tough breaks there.
That is so rough for our Azuri hero.
But Alex able to navigate that well, picked up the natural combo, was able to send across a ton of damage in one turn, taking Evan from 31 down to the low teens. Aurora again looking like best deck in the format as she is. What else you gotta say about this, Justin? I think it's just a display of a very aggressive hero, able to get off the combo, and Azuri not finding quite enough disruption.
Yeah, Zuri definitely missing the tools that she needs to make the matchup work, while Alexander just finding everything that was needed from his side, as well as like seeing the natural combo without enough disruption coming from the other side. Really unfortunate, but that's how some of those games go.
All right, well, thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you all in the next round for the Blood on the Bayou series, our second circuit. Thanks.